This video is made possible through a partnership with Humble Bundle. As a Humble partner, all Humble Bundle purchases through the links in the description below will help support the channel.
Okay, I don't have much time to explain, but all 4 of these bundles are ending January 6th, so click on the links in the description below to check out some cool stuff you can get and support the channel at the same time. You get to choose where your money goes, and you can pay as much as you want to get as much as you want and support charity. The 4 bundles I am linking below are Video Creators VFX, Big Royalty-Free Music, Your Sounds, Your Movies Professional Audio Video Creation, and AI-powered photo editor with Luminar 4. Hello people, I'm MPage. Well, we're coming to the end of yet another year. And as we look back on the year before us, I think this would be a good time to focus on all the positive memories and... Couldn't even hold it for 30 seconds. But seriously, you all know as well as I do that 2020 was very hectic, very rough, very, for the lack of a better word, bad. But we're not gonna let it get the better of us. Like, some bad things happen, sure, but we are stronger people now because we survived them. And I am ready and willing and able to put 2020 behind me and move on, and I hope you all are too. But before we do that, I think the best thing we can do is take one more really good look back at 2020 through the most positive thing I can think of. My videos. That's right, despite the end of the world and really bad people doing really bad things, I still kept my cool, I still held it together, and I still made lots of great videos for the people, with the people. Shut up, people. The people kept me going, and go I did. And I think it would be a very good opportunity to look back through the videos that I did in 2020 and talk some more about them. Okay, let's see, what's a good video to start with? Let's see, I did some more Legacy of the Duelist DLC. People might be thinking the series is dead, but it's not. It's just taking a really long break because for all the content up through 5Ds, I have to actually replay the campaign levels on my console before getting to the DLC levels. But starting with Zexal, I will start doing it regularly combined. Duel Theory, I brought back Duel Theory with the Pot of Greed video. I basically, I uploaded it on April 1st because it was an April Fool's joke that, like, it wasn't an April Fool's joke that I brought back Duel Theory, it was an April Fool's joke, the subject matter, because literally everybody knows what Pot of Greed does, right? I actually got Digi in on this one, that's how proud I am of it. Special thanks to Digi for making a cameo and putting up with my crap. Yeah, you have no idea how much stress it puts on him whenever I ask him what Pot of Greed does, because, like, it's like, he's pretty much the butt of the joke. He's like one of the most common people in the room whenever I ask what Pot of Greed does. This video is brought to you by my Amazon wishlist. Yeah, I used to have a thing where I would put my wishlist in the description of my videos. It's still there, and people could, like, buy me something from my wishlist to support the channel. But I kind of shadow dropped it because even if, like, people like me, they probably don't like me enough to send me things, at least not immediately. And I figured if people want to go on Amazon for me, they probably want to do it for themselves while also supporting me. So I eventually just gave up on the wish list and just started promoting a storefront instead, which I have recently updated, so go check out the new Yu-Gi-Oh stuff I added. I think it's probably the cheapest section of the whole thing. Welcome to Duel Theory, the show where we tackle the burning questions of duel monsters, like, which female lead is sexier? I'll be honest about the female lead thing. I am only aware of Taya, Alexis, and Akiza, and a little bit of Kotori. Everything after Zexal is fuzzy to me. Here, does playing card games on motorcycles require a license? And most importantly, where are the other pieces of Exodia? The other pieces of Exodia. Like, I needed more funny questions to ask, and honestly, I was really hung up on that part until I thought of the other pieces of Exodia thing, because, like, once upon a time, I used to watch silly text-to-speech videos, and one of them was called Microsoft Wars, where they used custom-made Yu-Gi-Oh cards to play their own messed-up card game. And one of the cards mentioned, while not shown due to YouTube's policy, was the Analogy of the Forbidden One. And that's what inspired me to say that. But today, we shall cover a very important topic of the game. A question that remains unanswered across the web, even to this very day. But today is the day we unravel the mystery. The mystery of Pot of Greed. Pot of Greed has seen very widespread use in the early anime, like the original series and also GX. Funny how I call original series and GX early anime. I don't think anyone calls it early anime. I think the only thing they call early anime is Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0. Because it gets a lot of exposure in the media, of course curiosity will be piqued. But why does nobody know what it does? The joke is that everybody knows what it does, it's just people won't stop asking this stupid question. Probably because it has been on the ban list since September 2005, and therefore is not often played in the mainstream public. Like, honestly, I don't know why. Like, everyone tells me, dude, it's because it lets you draw 2 cards and there's no downside to it. Well, Jar of Greed lets you draw 1 card and has no downside to it, so what the hell? This is a picture that is made available to the public via Google for research purposes, and I will not confirm or deny any allegations of possession of Pot of Greed in my home or workplace. Obvious filler, because, like, if I'm gonna make it look like a serious theory video, I have to, like, stretch it out. I think that's how MatPat makes his theory videos, don't quote me on it. Well, in order to properly explain what Pot of Greed does, let's first address what Pot of Greed is. Before we answer the stupid question, let's add some stupid filler. Its card serial number is 551-44522. Yeah, that's where the technicality came in. I just called that the serial number. It's actually the password. I don't know why it's called the password, considering it's not a word, but rather a sequence of numbers. But I digress. And it was originally released in English as part of the set Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon on March 8th, 2002. I neglected to mention that was actually the very first English printed set. After translating the original Japanese names to Google, we get 2 different results: Greedy Vase or Good Pot. Yeah, copy-paste translation was what happened when I just copy-pasted the Japanese name into Google Translate. That's how I got Good Pot. But then Google gave me a correction, like if you spell something wrong, it suggests something. So by clicking on the correction, it came out as Greedy Vase. But before we can learn what it can do, we have to go over what it can't do. I feel like an idiot. Like watching a video, I feel like an idiot, because the way I'm going to talk in this next bit, it kind of feels like I'm talking down to a bunch of dumb little kids that don't even know what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. It can't stay on the field because it's not a continuous spell, equip spell, or field spell. It can't be chained to other cards or activate on your opponent's turn because it's not a quick play spell. That counter thing, I didn't say anything because there's only a counter trap, there's no such thing as a counter spell. As I mentioned earlier, Pot of Greed is a normal spell. It has no icon. You activate. I'm just like randomly zooming in on pictures for no reason. But hey, who needs a future when you have trading card games? Honestly, like, to kind of break the fourth wall here, I really had no connection between that train of thought and the next, so I kind of just, like, made up a thing about M-Page and Wildcard being 2 separate people working on the same video. Wildcard, as you know, being my pony Sona. I don't know why I came up with this, but it's good filler, and at least we're not staring at the same old poster with nothing on it again. As you can clearly see, Pot of Greed has a face. Now I'm just imagining Pot of Greed in the Face Off movie, and I don't know why. I need to stop watching Nostalgia Critic so much. Damn it, now I'm hungry. Yeah, it's amazing how much you can go on a serious train of thought before heading into a joke. It's like, It's like, I can't even tell. It's like I couldn't even tell while I was writing this at times whether I was doing a serious video or a joke video, so I kind of just did both. And I'm just hoping it served the public well.
But now's not the time to order a pizza.
Yeah, I don't like pizza, but the reason I say that is because I kind of wrote that Wildcard does like pizza. And also by making a comment about pizza, I try to appear more relatable to the demographic. Great, now I sound like a bitter old man.
It is my duty. Duty.
Come on! You're making a video about Pot of Greed. Be more professional. Duty.
Pot of Greed. I'm still answering the question of what it does. And
You've been answering the question for almost 5 minutes now, and we still don't know what it does.
my current hypothesis as to why it was designed this way is because green is the color of money in the United States of
Yeah, that was the first clear picture I could find of money, and surprisingly it wears a mask, like you should be doing in public.
America. And in most Western tales of fiction, money is the universal symbol of greed. But what connection does money have with this card?
Oh god, not another tangent! Can a big, yellow, magical, fluffy bear with sparkles please come in and save the day?
You see... Shut the f*** up, Wild! I am
Finally.
really tired of this. People always asking, oh, what does Pot of Greed do? We all know what Pot of Greed does. It allows you to draw 2 cards. 2 f***ing cards! As it clearly says right there!
He was a good sport, honestly. Like, I honestly had an idea where someone would come in and cut off my bullshit just to explain the effect for real. I intended to be Digi, but I had no idea he'd actually do it. He originally wrote it with bleeps, but I was like, no, write it uncensored, I'll bleep it later, which I did. And yes, those are the same sound effects I use today, and I was really obsessed with them when I got them, and I still kind of am to an extent now.
But hey, that's just a theory. A dual theory. Oh, shut up!
Yep. And that ends one of the greatest videos that I uploaded that year. When did I upload that? April. Wow, we're already in April? We just started and we're in April. God, we are doomed. Share Factory Flicks. Some sort of Michael Says things. More Legacy of the Duelist. Okay, this one started an era. Like, you know that I love Legacy of the Duelist, and you know I love playing new levels for it, and you know that I have the DLC side series alongside the main series. But this one was the start of an arc. The arc is known on the channel as Wake the Dragons Break My Mind. And the reason it is called that is because it contains a particular card that I have mixed feelings about. And I'm going to play that segment.
This video is brought to you by my new Amazon store page.
Ah, the olden days when my Amazon store page didn't have much stuff on it. Now it has more stuff on it. You can check it out. Link in the description. Buy yourself something really nice, and I get a cut of it. My hands are tired. You may be wondering, why aren't you loading them off your hard drive? Well, the thing is, like, the videos, even when they're done, when they're in progress, whatever, they take up space on my computer, whether it being from the raw files or the final render. And eventually I have to move them to my backup drive. And while I can, in theory, load them from said backup drive, it does cause issues on playback because, like, that's just generally the case of watching a video from an external device. There's always some bit of hiccups when it comes to fast forwarding, rewinding, pausing, and all sorts of dumb crap.
Alright, gang, say hello to Pegasus. It's that card! That card I never talk about in the Discord servers, because it's the card that taunts my very existence, and I'm very scared of it. It's the Salem!
Wow. Like, I don't like shake in fear at it now, but I can't believe I was that afraid back then. Like, Seriously, it's just a seal of like, what's the big deal? This arc would go on for, I think, 5 episodes. Like, I know I played 5 duels, but I think it was, I can't remember if I did like 1 duel per episode or whatever, but like, this was one of my favorite arcs to work on because it was like an arc of my evolution as a human being, an arc of me playing the game, and an arc of the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Story. Every single original series Yu-Gi-Oh! game up to this point skipped this arc and never had this card, and I was totally okay with that when I saw this episode of the anime. Why do I keep nodding my head? I'm always silly. Always have been silly, always will be silly. I'm a little silly Billy. And I like that. It's like, I'm not gonna like walk around like an uptight politician and pretend my farts don't stink for the purpose of looking professional. Y'all know me. Y'all know I like cute things and silly things and stupid things. And like, that's just what I like, and that's just what I show, and there's nothing wrong with that. In the same vein as my Share Factory flicks, I posted this video of me playing a computer game with no commentary to show off something stupid that happened. The story behind this video was I was gathering some footage for DG's review of Spider-Man that he did with me, and like, I was trying to record my footage through the game and he was trying to record his footage through the game, and we were supposed to capture like different things, which we did, because he was playing the PS1 version and I was playing the PC version. The thing about this was I was trying to get past the Mysterio boss so that I could record the Waterfront Warehouse level, because I was playing on hard and he was playing on easy. So there was obviously some differences in the footage. And the thing that happened was like, as I was giving my final blow to Mysterio, he was giving his final blow to me, and we both died, which his death resulted in the ending sequence starting to play, but because I died, it gave me a game over, and I responded to it appropriately.
Dude, capes are out this year. What? What the fuck?
To this day, I still have no idea why it happened. I know how it happened because of the way the game is coded, but I have no idea why they programmed it this way. It makes me wonder if that's how it was originally programmed by Neversoft in the original PS1 based engine, or if that was just an error in coding as a result of Treyarch porting it over to the Dreamcast and the PC. Okay, this one was another one of my editing projects in the same vein as that Manzai Birds video I did years back. Basically, I was obsessed with Taiko no Tatsujin once I discovered it existed, and I was really obsessed with the Switch version because like you could play with the Joy-Cons or the touchscreen and it was cool. I played around with the sliders and I figured out there was a good way to separate like the game sound effects and voice samples from the background music. So based on that, I took the Japanese version of How Far I'll Go from Moana, lowered the background music volume all the way down, and dubbed the footage over with the Google Translate version as done by Melinda Kathleen Reese on her channel, which is now called Twisted Translation. I'm only going to play a little bit of it in this video because the actual video got me a copyright claim from the Japanese, I can't remember if it was like the original Moana or I don't know. I got a copyright claim from someone that worked at Disney for the song, and I ended up getting half the revenue because it was not the actual song that I used. Okay, that's enough. At this point, I had issues streaming, and so Spyro videos were going to become premieres instead of live streams, because I used to do like a live show once a week, which later became a premiere once a week because of the pandemic. But I got sick of Spyro, started playing Crash, and I started flipping back and forth, then I stopped to Crash, and then I just changed it to random stuff. Oh! Reviewing Hannah Montana DVD game. This was the first time in a long time I actually tried to review something all by myself. I'm not gonna play it or say much about it, but needless to say, I'm very proud of what I created. I want to make more, I just don't know if I can. More Crash, more Spyro, more Spyro. More Yu-Gi-Oh! More Spyro, more Yu-Gi-Oh! More Spyro, more Yu-Gi-Oh! Here's me playing I Am Bread, which is taken from a YRC thing. More Spyro, more Spyro! A vlog about what the join button does, because yes, that's another achievement I am proud of. Since I still have above 1,000 subscribers and I have become a gaming channel, I got the join button, which means you can be a member of my channel for $1 or $5 a month and get access to exclusive content and emojis and channel and badges next to your name, and early access to my Discord, which I will be opening soon. I'll talk more about that later. I'll test a 4K by talking about how crappy one of the controllers I got was. I did get a better one since. A VR thing, because I could. More Spyro. More Crash. More Crash. For Spooktober, I started doing spooky things, like Surgeon Simulator from the YRC. Nightmare Before Christmas, where I started experimenting with spooky edits. Hello Neighbor, like that was originally planned because I had Hello Neighbor and wanted to play a spooky game because people like spooky games, but I was so spooked out by Hello Neighbor in general, I just like wasn't into it. Night Trap because I could, Baldi because we needed a follow-up for Baldi, right? It took a lot of editing to make the video not so awkward, and I still think it's kind of awkward, but if you'd like to see me play more Baldi, let me know in the comments. I ended Spooktober with a duel with Chad, and let me tell you about how great Chad is. He is a freaking mad lad. Like, I decided that it should end with someone dueling the bad guy, and Chad was one of the first people I thought of. Well, Digi was the first, but then I immediately dismissed the thought because, like, I figured he'd be too busy to work on my little side project, which he was. So I went with the first available person I could think of, Chad. Like, I also could have done it with Jackson, but Chad was my first pick, and he's the best pick. Like, he went all gotcha and stuff, and like that's actually why I picked Chad, because I knew he was gonna do the gotcha, and like, I don't know why people shit on gotcha. It's really good. Like, the style is great, and the community have done some wonderful things with it. You need to get your head out of r/gotcha life cringe and start looking for the good stuff. Like, I mean, you shouldn't even have to look, because like, if you search Gotcha Life and don't search cringe, there's a good chance you'll find something great. Especially with all the other stuff from Gotchaverse, Gotcha Club, people like acting out their favorite scenes from YouTube videos and movies and music videos. But anyway, I'm rambling. Basically, I was running out of time. I said, I need an outro, can you do this? He's like, sure. And then we worked together on the outro, and he helped me do some stuff for the intro, and when it all put together, it was, despite its simplistic looking presentation, it was one of the best damn videos we've ever made, and I am so proud of it, and I will always be grateful to Chad the Gamer for how awesome he was with that video, and how awesome he is in general. The legendary decks to the Walmart versus Java Junction and the Millennium Gold thing up there were all videos I filmed at this store in one of my local suburbs that I wanted to work at someday, and we had an arrangement where I could like make videos for the Facebook page and after a month of exclusivity, I could post them on my YouTube for my portfolio. The only difference, other than the profanity difference in the second video, was the quality. Facebook had limits on the type of video you could post based on file size and length, so I had to post them in 1080p, whereas the YouTube versions were in 4K. The reason I don't know if I'll do any more is because I've actually been kicked off the Facebook page for reasons I will not disclose at this time, and they said that if I want to promote the store anymore, I should do it from my YouTube channel directly and just do it to the private discussion channels. But for other reasons I will not disclose, the vibe is just gone for me, and it's just how it is. I might go back someday, I might not. Who knows? Me taking a furry quiz, because why not? Oh yeah, Crash 4, it's about time. I pretty much that's pretty much the thing that made me stop doing weekly premieres, because on top of the this thing was the cherry on top of the Sunday that was not many people watch my premieres. It's hard to keep a schedule, and my creative flow was getting boggled. It was weird. And the rest of them are my recent videos. And in regards to this trailer, I'm gonna quickly say, it is a really creative project and I still love it, but after seeing one of Omni's videos, on Twitter he's known as Inferno Omni, but on YouTube he's just Omni. He pretty much makes videos about the whole Nintendo thing. He makes videos about anything, but I recently started watching because of Nintendo videos, as Nintendo was doing all these really bad things. But in one video he made called Everybody Hates Nintendo, which I'm going to put on an iCard here, basically he sums up everybody's thoughts on Nintendo, what they're doing, why they're bad for doing it, and why we can't do anything about it. And that was pretty much my thoughts on the Nintendo thing in a nutshell. If I had to add anything, I'd probably say, for the rest of my time on this channel, I will no longer do gaming videos of Nintendo stuff. But there are some exceptions. ROM hacks, if they are significant ROM hacks, I will do them. If someone makes an original game, like a Flash game or something in a different engine, I might check it out. But there will be no Mario Maker levels, no main series Pokemon games, no anything of the actual Nintendo games. Pokemon Go, I'm going to rule doesn't count, because while it was licensed by Nintendo, it was made by Niantic and is a separate entity from actual Pokemon. And this also does not affect me playing Nintendo games on other videos, streams, or in general. I'm gonna watch my favorite part again, actually.
People know my true feelings toward the company.
That probably could have gone better.
Yeah, think? Okay, we've had a look back at the past. Now it's time to face the future. 2021 is a world of limitless possibilities. The best we can hope for is that we fix everything we broke in 2020. I already know what I'm going to try to do for 2021. I'm going to try to accomplish everything I couldn't accomplish in 2020, but I might go about it differently for the time being. But that's just for me. But in regards to this channel, what could I do? I could branch out more of my content. I used to be a reaction guy. I used to be the guy that reacts to things, and maybe I'll go back to doing that every so often for a video. Who knows? Enter the Multiverse Episode 3 is still in progress, so I'm gonna keep working on that as much as I can, because there are some things I'm missing, and since Digi's the only artist I know, he would have to help me, and I'm still waiting on a thing from him. But like I said, I have infinite patience because he's working on his own stuff. As far as gaming, I got PS3 now, so we'll see what happens with that. I do want to do more Clone Hero videos or other videos of rhythm games, The main thing stopping me is the copyright, but I'm hoping that at some point I can figure a way around that so that I can present content to you without fear of like losing revenue. But I'm gonna just say that if I had money coming in for these videos outside of the revenue, then maybe I wouldn't worry so much about getting demonetized. I'm gonna say these final words about 2020. We all want to forget about the horror that we went through, right? But there's a reason we shouldn't. A common saying is those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. So, like, obviously, all the things that went wrong in 2020, we cannot forget them. No matter how hard we try, we shouldn't forget them, because if we do, then it's just gonna happen again, and we'll be even less prepared now than we were before. But until next time, this is my last video of 2020. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see you all in 2021. Peace.
If you enjoy the content on this channel, click the subscribe button and enable notifications so you'll be updated when new content gets posted. You can also support the channel financially by clicking the applaud button, becoming a channel member, or making a purchase on the Amazon storefront.